So first, just announced that the first LEGO League next season is going to be the last season of first LEGO League, and then it looks like it's going to be sunset after that. Let's talk about it. First, just released an update here. Chris Rake just sent something out that the first and LEGO Education Partner update that as of March 19th, 2026, the first LEGO League is no longer going to be a competition. It will still be a competition for the 2026-27 season, but that is going to be the final season of the first LEGO League, which is going to conclude. Now, it seems as though, at least from what First has said, that it is LEGO Education who chose not to renew the partnership agreement. So it seems as though it wasn't a first thing, or at least First is saying that it wasn't a first thing. But the LEGO Education won't be continuing this. Now, it does seem a little odd in the timing, considering that back on January 12th, both LEGO and First sent out a press release here for the first LEGO League, talking about the new AI kits, which is LEGO Computer Education Science, Computer Science, and AI. There have been some FLL mentors and teams who have shared their thoughts quite a bit about the future of these new computer science and AI kits. They're far less robotics than they are about AI. There is a fantastic post here on Reddit from a user Successful Tanglo259 that I'll put down below. Effectively, this person was a mentor for FLL for the last 10 years, and they have shared out some fantastic thoughts as to where First has gone with the first LEGO League and how things are shifting with this new computer science and AI kit. Interestingly, this user notes out that when you search for robot on the LEGO website, it shows up 0 times. So it looks like, and this shouldn't really be a surprise from those who have been going through and following first LEGO League for a while, since the 90s, and that they started off with the Mindstorms, with the RCXs and the NXTs, and then the EB3 Mindstorm. That eventually got sunset into the Spike Prime, and the Spike Prime had a really short life, did not last for a very long time before that is eventually being sunsetted as well. And then now we are now into these computer science and AI. When you look at how LEGO is also marketing these new kits, it's no longer a consumer-based product. Like when we thought about the NXT days and the RCX days and the LEGO Mindstorms with the EB3, it was very much a consumer-facing product. And then as this product line has gone on with the FLL, it's transitioned more and more to educator, computer science, classroom focused. And then this new computer science and AI kits are exclusively an education product. It's not really meant for base consumers. And because of that, I think you're really starting to see some of that shift away from LEGO supporting that first LEGO League. Now, it is a bit of a shame that there isn't presently, or at least there will be one for next year, and I hope that First can get something sorted out so that you can get some new younger students into building some robotics, particularly in the competitive robotics sphere, because we see just how important that is. And I mean, in my opinion, I think the robotics, well, I may be a little bit biased given what it is that I do, teaching robotics every day, and of course, running robotics tutorials. But we are seeing a rapid increase in where robots are growing and how robots are expanding our day-to-day use, particularly in the fields of camera vision, in the fields of humanoid robotics and actuators, and then things like the sim-to-real gap, and being able to move through that. Now we have far more advanced GPU capabilities to be able to do some of this training. So I, for one, hope that the mentors and guys at First, guys and gals and people at First, are able to sort out what they want to do in the future with sort of a kindergarten through 8th grade league as sort of an introductory lead up into these sort of fields. Perhaps they go down a Python route, maybe a make block route, maybe some sort of Raspberry Pi hat with a LEGO compatible sensors hat. That might be an interesting route. Or even what I've been doing with my classes for a long time now, is doing something like a microbit, which you can program in blocks in JavaScript or in Python. It's had some pretty solid back history use up with the BBC as well. That might be an interesting partnership to take a look at. And there's quite a few interesting breakout boards that allow you to connect standard servos, standard DC motors. And then there are guys like SparkFun who've put out some products that are also LEGO compatible motors as well. Key thing being here is they're Lego compatible. They are not Lego. And there's lots of things like Lego Technic compatible 3D prints and things like that, things that I use for my own robotics quite regularly for my own classes in teaching these things that really allow students to be able to continue to expand and be able to grow into a smaller section and still allow you to use Lego parts in a more robotics way with more standardized sensors. So that might be a really interesting avenue for them to be able to approach. In any case, I'm really curious on your thoughts with this and the sort of end of an era for almost 3 decades now working with the first Lego League. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, best of luck on your next robotics project.